Hey, what's going on? This is Sardonic Sloth, and we are back with episode 7. So, this is immediately after doing Dread Dungeon on the last episode. I went through and I attempted to do survival on King's Game. This is the first attempt at that. It's using, I think, the same build ish that we used to clear the campaign mode of it. And I don't remember if I said, but there's like flashing tiles you can step on to get buffs or debuffs or upgrade towers, that kind of thing. During the campaign, I don't know if that's true for survival. I didn't really get a chance to look at it. But the build on survival didn't really last so long. There's me dying. I'm also on my upgrader adept, but it doesn't have a genie because it's not 74 yet. I'm just trying to get him to level 74. It's almost there. So we run around and try to upgrade everything as much as we can. So this is me running around trying to get that done as to the best of my ability. I think at some point I switch over to my monk and start dropping. Yeah, I think this might be it. I don't remember. Yeah, because there's my tower booster monk, or what's going to become my tower booster monk. You can see I put almost all the buttons to tower boost there, and I'm just have the adept have the upgrade aura running, and I'm just using the monk to drop her mana until she dies, and then I try to run around and upgrade as much as I can, manually. So we're still going, and we're only at wave 13, and we have a little bit of core damage already. It's just not going very well. There we lost a buff beam, I think, on the lower level there. Probably the Nature's Pylon that was down there. Yeah, so and you can see how much damage that core took. It's a little under 3/4, I believe. Crazy. So yeah, this build did not work out very well, if you can't tell. It's not going too well. So in the middle of the build, I decided, okay, well, we're taking too much damage, and I couldn't figure out what was actually damaging the cores. So I tried to put up some reflect beams, go back to tower boosting with my monk, which I didn't want to have to use the tower boost. I didn't mind using the upgrader out for a couple of waves, but I honestly wanted to farm and get levels for my main team. But having to use the tower boost on this map wasn't conducive to that. So yeah, we're going through. Here's wave 15, which I don't remember if we got to where we actually died at, but yeah, you can see we're under 50% here. I'm trying to level up everything. I'm also at the same time trying to figure out, okay, well, what's damaging the cores, and yeah, we just died there. So this next part is going to be my attempt to fix that. So I spend a lot of time, because there's no time limit on survival. So I start at wave 15, so you get a little bit more mana out of the chests at the start, and you get a lot of time to sit there and think about your build and how you're going to do it. So in this one, I'm putting the beams kind of a little bit further away from the crystals, which I think is one of my problems that I had the last time. And I'm actually going to bring in the summoner for this, and hopefully that'll provide some sort of wall for what we ended up doing. Excuse me. And then we are just getting everything set here. That ogre, I'll just tell you right now, was a mistake. Not a good placement for that ogre. That should have been another 4 or 5 archers and a wizard. That's what that should have been. Just sorting some gear that we got out. Then, yeah, going through and picking up and upgrading as best we can. So we are level 74 on the upgrader adept, and she's got her genie on, because I only got one mythical level genie from Halloween Spectacular. So that's what she's wearing. And I think we just took a little bit of core damage like right away there. Yeah, this run did not go very well. I don't think that we got out of wave 15. I don't remember. We're going to find out. I'm kind of watching this and just talking through it as I kind of chopped up some of the footage. Yeah, we didn't even make it past wave 15, so get a little bit frustrated with myself, and I said, okay, well, we're gonna actually bring in some more different towers here. So I think I'm still building on the main, but you can see I'm building like behind the crystals now. I'm actually bringing in 2 of the hermit poison thrower things, I forgot what they're called, and 2 of the holy cannons on top. That's because at the later waves there's just so much stuff that was getting through. Owls are great, but we need something that, because of the nerf to the damage, we need something that's going to be a little more consistent with taking out the small things. So the holy cannon and the poison things will work. If I could do this over again, I would probably replace the holy cannons with 2 more of the poison things from the hermit. And we're going to, again, use our summoner to make some walls here, and putting down some spiders as well to take care of the ogres, the big things that come over, just to kind of stun them and so they can't do a ton of damage. Put a lot of spiders on the bottom there, and I think only 1 or 2, I think 1 actually mage on the bottom. So there's a lot of archers on top and just spiders and a mage down bottom. So we have a little bit of problems here, and we died. That's unfortunate, but we are looking at, you know, everything that happened there. But we did make it to a better wave at that point. I think we made it up to level 23 or 24 on survival on King's Game. So then I got frustrated with King's Game, so I said, okay, well, we're going to go do Dread Dungeon, and maybe with the gear drops from here, we can do King's Game. But because I said I wasn't going to equip all the Transcendent, I haven't gone back through and done King's Game again with the upgraded gear. I still haven't equipped it. I'm recording this audio before I do the main video for episode 7, which is where we will go through and do all the upgraded on equipment. So this is just one of the builds. I tried like 4 or 5 builds. There's a much better build that I'm using, not this one. But this one, I think I have 2 buff beams going, and then I split the owls, I think 3 and 2 on either side, and then I think the 3 is on the side that we're not looking at. I call it the short side, but the side with the spawn, I think there's 3 over there, which is a mistake. I should put 3 on the long side, and then just upgrading and going through. So the upgrader adept has the genie, and she can just sit here and auto attack and gain mana, and she'll upgrade as she goes. And then I'm running around on the guardian, either upgrading or dropping mana, whatever I think is necessary at the time. So then we actually got a supreme drop, which is crazy. We got a bunch of transcendence there. Obviously, we fast forwarded up to level 25. So this is the last wave of Dread Dungeon survival. I think this is my first time doing it. Yeah, it is, because we got those pets. So I'm just selling those pets. I don't really care about them. Sorting the gear, putting the gear away. Just looking to see what I got there. And we go through this last level. Eventually, at some point. There it goes. Yeah, we're going through this. This is actually not a very good build. The other build that I have is much better, which is just using 1 set of auras and I think 5 owl nests, and then a couple of hermit towers. Those being the pylon, the range extending one, and the golem. Which you could probably get away without using a golem. I don't think the golem was super necessary. Okay, so now we're here back on the account after all that grinding. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to ranked, assuming that it'll let me connect anyway. Come on, DD1, you can do it. Oh boy, you can connect. Yep, there you go. Okay, and then what we want to do is, it doesn't matter which hero we select, and we want to export to open. Okay, and we want to do that so that we can use the gear optimizer. So let's just go in to the game real fast and take a look. Okay, so we're in the game, and just to show you what we've done here, so I have 320 of 320. If we look at our gear, we have a lot of Transcendent and Supreme, and I think maybe even an Ultimate piece somewhere, which is great. I did end up just not keeping any of the accessories. I think I put some of them on some of the heroes. I don't really remember. This is my builder adept. Yeah, I gave her, you know, just whatever was lying around. And then I sold all the accessories, but that's not what we're not too worried about that right now. What I want to do is I want to equip all this Transcendent gear, and I want to upgrade it. Now, here's the issue, is that we have 17 pages of gear, all kinds of different gear. And it would take me probably a couple of hours to go through and, you know, mix and match and figure out which set has the best for this or whatever. So instead we can do the export to open, like I showed you, and then you can go to a tool that one of the community members made called the Dungeon Defender's Gear Optimizer. So that's what this, you should be seeing that right now. So what we'll do is we'll bring this up and oops, there you go. Sorry, it's different for for you and I. There we go. Okay, so this is the gear optimizer, and what we can do is go and look at or Steam, Debian, Steam apps, and the pathing will differ if you're on Windows. I'm on not Windows, obviously. Digital Defenders, binaries, and then I'm playing on the 32-bit version, and I want the stun defend heroes.done. So we'll select that, and then that brings up all of my gear that I have in my box, and you can see all the gear down here. And there's a couple of different buttons here. There's a lot of, well, not a lot, but there's a couple of other different tutorials in this, but I'll give you kind of my take on how I've been using it, and it may or may not be the best. But you can see that I have this gear equipped currently, right? And what I want to do is I want to equip the best gear that I have for a builder guardian. And so if you click the drop down here, you can see that I can, when I hover over these, it'll tell you the stats that you're going to be looking at. So Builder Hermit wants tower damage over tower range over tower HP. Builder App wants tower damage over tower rate over range. And they all have their things. And this is mostly right, but I personally think that tower rate is equal to tower range, but I don't know that there's a way to say that. I could probably look at the code and tell you better. But we're just going to use Builder Guardian because, you know, why not? And then we can say, okay, I want to equip the best equipment that I have for this set for this character. So it'll take the character's level into account and everything else. So we'll say, hey, let's equip our best. And so it does that. And you can see that it is predicting that we'll get 4,066, but I think that it's upgrading all of our accessories, which we're not going to be doing because we don't have the money for that. Accessories are really expensive to upgrade, and we just don't have that money. But it thinks that I will need to wear this mail stuff, and if you look in the over here, right where my mouse is now, it'll say, oh, this is where that item is, right? So this is in my item box in a folder called gear on page 14 is what it's trying to say. And the pages are set up here, so 5x3 is what I have. Anyway, oh, also, I don't know if I explicitly said it, but I found this, I think, either on King's Game or Dread Dungeon. Just it dropped randomly, so I equipped it because, you know, why not? It's just extra stats that we didn't have otherwise. So that's what it thinks that we need. So what I want to do is I want to lock this so that no other characters can take this gear. And then I want to add another hero. And I will take Mega Girl, sure. And we'll say we want Builder Eevee. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do this in order that I want everybody geared. So we'll go with our tower range set, and we'll say, okay, so this is what the character has equipped now, and we'll say I want to equip the best gear that I have, and it looks like a leather set, and it looks like we'll get up to around 4K. This is going to be a little bit off because we don't have the accessories, but actually, can I don't know if I can remove those accessories, but yeah, so then we'll lock this, and we'll add another hero, and we'll say, let's go to our hermit, and we want to change this to the Builder Hermit, and then we'll equip the best. That's the stats that it's predicting that we'll get, which is pretty okay. So we'll lock that, add another hero, and we'll go to, yeah, our Builder Eevee, and we'll do the same thing again. We'll equip the best. That's what it thinks we're gonna get to, which is great. And then we want to equip our other heroes. Specifically, I want this guy, but I want him to be DPS AB1. AB1 is tower boost, and we'll equip the best gear that we have for him. And this is what they think that we're gonna equip. It looks like a plate set. Hopefully we get a resistance up. It doesn't really show that. And then we'll go to the next thing, and that is I want my my Builder Summoner, and I want to equip the best gear that I have for that, and that's what it thinks we're going to get to, so we'll lock that. And we can do this, etc., ad nauseum for all of our characters. So I definitely want to get my Warden, because we might be using Warden towers in a little bit, and Warden uses Apprentice stats, so we can just say, hey, it's a Builder Apprentice. And we can equip our best there, and that's what it thinks we're going to get. We'll lock that, and then we'll actually get the Apprentice, this thing, and we'll equip our best here as well. And we can do this ad nauseum, right, for pretty much all of our characters. So I'm going to take some time to do that, and then I'll come back and show you exactly what it is. Actually, I'll just do... I'll just come back and show you. Okay, be right back. Okay. So, after going through that, I did the thing. So let's go through our attributes here. So we're at 3972, which I want to come back to in a moment for our main stat for our Guardian. Then if we go look at Mega Girl, she's at 4300. Bruno, our Hermit, is at 3800. Our Monk is at 4000. Our Tower Booster is at 2100. This is our Waller, and he's at 3.6k. Paige is our Builder Apprentice, and she's at 3.4k. Our Warden is at 3.3. Then... this is our Upgrader Apprentice, and she's at 2.6k. And then, this is one of my Guardian Summoners, and I just put some mythical stuff on them for right now. And I got these two Guardians. I haven't leveled them up yet, but there they are. We'll level those up whenever the Guardians become more relevant to us. So that should be good. Now, what I wanted to address is this. No. Cancel this guy. So we're here, and she's got 39.72. So let's put down a tower. So we'll just put down this one, and we can watch it hit. So it's hitting 249, right? Because of the nerfs, and the way that the nerfs work is that if we get to 4001, this should go up by like 30%. So let's see if we have enough mana to do that and enough things to do that. So let's see. So these are really expensive to upgrade, but we just need to get to 30. So we'll go 10, 10. Yeah, and then I don't want to pay that much, so we're just going to level up something else. And I'm going to get this to 4,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're at just under 4,000. We're 1 point away from 4,000, and we're at 251k. Now if I go to 4,000 exactly, which is what we're at now, it's still at 251k. But now watch this. I will put one more attribute point into it. Right. Well, actually, you know what? Let's get the owls too, just to see what the owls do. So the owls are doing 158. So 251 and 158. And then if we go here and we get one more point, like so. So now we're at 4,001. Look, it's at 314 and 197. It's so that's crazy, right? So there's another threshold that we still haven't hit yet, which is 5,000. After 5,000, you get, I believe, 100%. I want to say, or maybe it's 0.75. I don't remember what the actual scaling is. But this holds true for both the Guardian and the Warden. And our Warden is not near the 4,000 yet, and it costs too much to get her up there, so we're not going to do that. So there you go. So what are we going to do for the rest of the time? Well, let's figure that out. Okay, so we're back, right? I'm recording. Let me look. Yeah, it looks like I'm recording. Looks like everything's good. So I think what we're going to do for the remaining time, since it should be fairly quick, is unlocking our next survival farm, which will be, oh, where is it? Hold on. There it is. We're gonna go here. I don't think we have the stats to do it on Nightmare, to be quite honest with you. We could try it. I know we can do it on Insane. I just don't know if we can do it on Nightmare. Well, let's just do it on Insane. That way we just get it done and over with. So we want to grab stuff here. Grab a bunch of stuff. I kind of build this a little bit weird, and I don't know how to build it with a Guardian, so we're gonna try to find out. Get mana. That's all the chests right now. So let's make all the chests. So we have 3 down here. I guess we'll put 3 up here for now. And we're gonna swap over to Bruno. And Bruno. Well, you're shooting out that way. And I don't know if I care about you right now. So we'll do that, and then we want to swap over. I guess we should level you up. Huh? Okay, and then we will swap on over to Monk. Monk will go 1. And we do want to use an electric ore up here, which shouldn't be too bad. Actually, we can level this up so we can look at the stats real fast. So we have 1600 damage on our monk, so that should be okay. Trying to hurry this up because we don't have a whole lot of time to do everything. That should be okay, but I do want to swap to you have a genie, right? Yes. I do want to swap to somebody with a genie, so we'll start this up. I'll go see about getting some mana. As best as I can, anyway. Okay. Manas. We're almost done here. I think the bottom's fine, but yeah, bottom's fine for right now. Grab all this mana. And then we need to... So I didn't say it, but this has a boss, and so we're gonna need to be cognizant of that. Let's see. So we'll run you like so. Okay, and then we're gonna put a reflect beam like here over that, and then we need to go down here. And the interesting thing about this boss is you can kind of bug him out, and that's what we're going to plan on doing. So we need I think a 4 beam here. Yeah. And then we want these guys. We want a 3-er. Sharpen that angle a bit. And we want a 3-er here, and I think this is all it takes to bug this guy out. He'll get like stuck like here or over here, and won't be able to damage us too bad. So up here, drop our mana, we'll swap over to Bruno. Jump down here. Okay, and then Bruno, you want to put that up here. We're going to put some seed bomb towers because they're pretty good at taking out bosses, especially if they're stationary. So we'll throw 2 that way, 1 this way. I don't think we need to throw 1 up that way. And then we're going to put 1 of these guys down. Put these guys up here. I forgot to put the golem down there. So we'll go do that. Then we want a golem right on the edge of this thing, looking this way. Then we got some DU to play around with. I do want to get some more reflect beams up, so I'll do that. We're not going to have time to upgrade anything, it looks like. So we'll go this side. Go this side. Okay. Shoot that stuff. Upgrade the beam. Turn around and click mana. Upgrade the beam when we can. Oh yeah. This guy doesn't have a gun anymore. He's got the mage stones. So you gotta hold left click and right click. Okay. Upgrade the toggle beam. We need to go upgrade the other one too. Am I really doing 600 something? Oh, it is on Insane. I keep thinking this is Nightmare, so I don't know if we can do this on Nightmare. At least not with 4 players on. Actually, I gotta bring in my splits. I keep neglecting that. Okay, give me some more mana, please. Thank you. So we have 10 DU to play with. And if we really needed to, we could bring in minions, but I just don't think that I have time for minions because we're timed. Let's see. We'll bring in. Oh, this guy's got level ups too, so we'll do that, and we will swap over to this guy to do the leveling up for us, and then we'll bring in the rest of our splits to get some more. Really, we don't really care to have the splits in, but I want more monsters to eventually get more mana during the waves, so we can upgrade everything. And I don't want to upgrade down here right now. I want to upgrade top. So we'll go ahead, grab all this mana if we can. Over here. Hey, let me in. Do that. Okay, and then actually, which one of these is Sardonic? It is F3. So this is my Guardian. One of the things that I want to make sure that I do is come over here. So the Guardian wall, when it takes damage, it'll heal everything around it. So hopefully this will keep my auras and this reflect beam healed. Yeah, I guess we could put a cannon down. Well, can I fit a cannon on this reflect beam somewhere? Thing? Yeah, right there. We'll just face it that way. Sure, why not? Okay, and then we'll upgrade whatever we can with this. Done. We'll go back to this guy. Pick up what mana we can. So there's just a couple of chests left. That's the ones over here. So grab those. This one down here. Uh-oh. These. Too late. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. I was holding left click, and when I pressed right click, it tried to charge. That's got me killed a couple of different times. So that we're gonna miss out on an entire wave of upgrading, which is super unfortunate. I mean, these waves are going fast, so there's that. We're already almost done with it. I guess we could go look around when we're doing this. So I don't think anything's even gonna come that close to us. A lot of copters over here. Are we not knocking the copters down? Oh, we are. Man, we missed out on an entire wave of upgrading. That is super unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't hurt us in the long run. So I'm going to spend this wave up here trying to upgrade these things if I can. This should upgrade our auras a little bit, and it did. So let's stand right here. Oh no, I can go grab all these. That'd be nice. Level these up a bit, and then we'll just shoot down here. See, look, it does it again. Like, yeah. That's a skill issue on my part, I think, where it just doesn't put my inputs correctly all the time. I think we're going to try to spread on this weapon is terrible. I mean, it's fine if there's a big target, but it's probably a really big target. Here. This one. I mean, I guess I'm hitting that weird, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it. So we're not going to stay up here. We'll do this wave up here, and then we'll spin the next wave down there. Upgrading. For my, oh, yeah, it's that. Yeah, okay, so I need to go down there and upgrade them. So we'll do that. I didn't put a reflect beam or nothing over here either. Don't know if that's gonna hurt me in the long run. Find out. Auras down here. Just a little bit. Upgrade the walls too, which is great. Grab this stuff, and then I guess we'll spend some time down here, question mark? Yeah, so up there is not getting healed. We should probably go heal them. Man, missing out on an entire wave of upgrading was very unfortunate. So we'll just upgrade these real fast. Then I think everything up here is good now. And we just need to go down the ways a bit. And I'm gonna start it. I'm not gonna worry about the chest. Oh my gosh. The apprentice weapon is gonna be the bane of me. I'm debating on if I want for the next wave to put the reflecting down here from the crystal. I might. They're still flying in. Work, and then hopefully the boss actually dies pretty good. Yeah. I already forgot how many seed bomb thrower thingies I put down. 2, I think, facing the boss. Because the boss is going to come by the physical variables if it's not obvious yet. Also, I love the walls, so them flying everywhere. Being awesome at once. I have no idea what's hitting me. Okay, so this would be wave 15, I believe. Yep. So we want to upgrade this stuff if we can. Whatever's over here to upgrade. And we need to get our DPS monk up. Yeah, let's go get the monk, I guess. Well, we'll repair everything up here. This, grab this. Repair, repair, repair. Good. Okay. Then we'll go switch over to our DPS / tower boost monk. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually, I think 6 is the max on this guy, so we'll just put everything into that. And I think we're just ready to go. There's 1700 on this wave, which is fine, I think. Upgrade. Try to do some upgrading while I'm already full. Very much like the upgrade. Thank you. the build for survival is rather different from this, because this one we're worried about killing the boss, and mainly killing the boss with counters. A little bit of here. Okay. And then that's everything down here, so let's go ahead and this one why not? Okay, boss is approaching, and as always we can press V to speed this up, and we will. Yep, there he is, the little apprentice guy. So we'll turn on the power boost and our hero boost. Seem to be hitting him pretty good. He's not really hitting us. So that's good. Yep, he's power. We're absolutely destroying him. And done. Excellent. So let's go see what we got. So this map has accessories if you keep doing that boss, and we got a genie. A non-bad genie too. Okay. These we don't really care about. How's our guardians? Not good. Not great. What about you? Not good. Yeah. Unfortunate about the guardians. So this Ace of Spades is really good. It shoots in like a diamond pattern, or like a triangle pattern, pyramid, I guess. And it goes through terrain, so walls are no barrier to it. So you can hit things behind walls. It's really good. But the weapon that I got from Halloween Spectacular just does so much damage. We're not gonna worry about it. So a lot of that stuff, and then you get these, and I didn't get any, but you also get top hats from here. Like, that's pretty good for this DPS monk. Yeah, I'm gonna give him this. So now he's got a monocle. You can also get top hats from here. And I might do that. I might farm a bunch of top hats and monocles. Like, do this a bunch. But yeah, our next goal is to do up to, I think, wave 30 or 35 on survival. Okay, so rather than making this its own episode, I decided to fast forward through the survival on Magus Citadel. I don't know that we're gonna do it more than once, maybe twice. This is my first time doing it, so the build is pretty straightforward. It might be a little bit different than what's out there. I'm not really sure. But basically you put the big DU beam up here. That's a 6 DU beam, or maybe a 5 in this case, because I moved it to a 5 at some point. And then you put a 4 DU beam in the center of the stairs at the bottom, crystal. A reflect on either side. And then I'm putting 2 owls per beam. And I'm also going to do some warden towers at some point. Yeah, here we go. Now these clouds, they're in the doorway, but they're not in the other room. And what I found is if I put them in the other room, that the ogres that spawn on the right side as you're looking at the camera now, would come and start hitting them. And since my warden doesn't have a lot of tower HP, I couldn't have that, so I put them in the doorway, and that seemed to solve the problem, along with the hermit tower that I put up there later. And then on either side, since I had the DE for it, I put a shroom pit from the warden as well. That does area damage a dot, and then it also makes them take increased damage. Now here I didn't have enough mana for everything that I wanted to build, so I'm going to get out my 2 characters with genies. And I'm just having the one auto attack down the hall there to get some mana. And eventually I'm going to start the wave. There we go. And with this wave, I'm going to do, what upgrading I can. But really, I'm just aiming to build as much mana as I can for my hermit. So I was doing this live. I didn't really have a build. I'm just going through it after the fact. So here's the building. Yeah, so I was saying that because I was kind of debating on what I wanted to do with the towers. So I don't like the placement of where I put the golem on the top crystal there. I think it should be more towards the stairs on the right side. Kind of at the end of the DU beam. Otherwise, you could make that a 4 DU and then save a little bit of DU. But I don't think we end up using more than the current 132 that we're using for the main builder. We do end up using minions, though. And I don't remember if I build them this wave or next wave. I think it's this wave. We're going to find out. Yeah, it's this wave. So I only put minions at the top crystal because I'm not going to be actively up there as much. I'm going to be at the bottom, like during the waves. Well, I'll kind of float between them with my tower boost monk. And I'm not really using tower boost for the damage, more to maintain the auras. And in hindsight, I probably should have used the new Guardian Wall, because whenever it takes damage, it heals the things around it. I think every 3 seconds or something like that. And it's it's a substantial heal, but it's not enough to keep it fully healed all the way through, at least from my testing so far. So this part I'm just fast forwarding as much as I can. But I do end up showing all the waves that we've done, and we'll go all the way up to 35. Actually, do I show all the waves? I believe I do. Yeah, I probably should know since I just cut up this video and started making it in preparation for the voiceover that I'm doing now. And yeah, so we're just going through these waves right here. Prior to doing the survival, I did run the campaign on Insane probably 5 or 6 times, give or take a couple of times. I did that mainly to get the accessories, because the accessories that we can get here are better than anything else we can farm for any of the other maps right now. And the accessories from Dread Dungeon are okay, but the ones from here have hundreds of stats, where the ones from Dread Dungeon do not. They have like 40 or 50 stats, somewhere around there. So here I'm bringing in the rest of the splits just to try to keep them leveled. Like, might as well get some levels in while we're doing this. Ideally, excuse me, if you can wait to bring them in until you get to the reward waves, which are I believe they're 25, 30, and 35. You could bring in just 4 characters for each of the waves before those, and get the rewards, get 4 times the rewards. I'm just keeping them in to build experience on them, because we're going to need that. I'm trying to get to 100 as fast as I can without having to sit there and grind it out. I already ground everybody that I care about right now up to 78. We will well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll try a build on Tinker's Lab Campaign Nightmare Hardcore Survival. That is the best leveling map that I know of that I may be able to do right now. So yeah, we're just cruising through these. So we're at wave 20 right now. So a couple more waves and we'll get to the first reward, which is Guardians. I believe they're at 25. So Guardians at 25. And you can also get Guardians from the Halloween Spooktacular, which is where most of my pet Guardians have come from so far. I think the ones from here may have a little bit better starting stats, but I don't think it's going to matter too much about the Guardian stats, at least Not for the content that we're going to be doing in the immediate future. Now, whenever we get, real big boy stats, then it'll start to matter, and I'll start to care a little bit more. If I haven't said so already, what we want to do this map for is to get the harpoon pet, which is a very early game DPS pet that makes a lot of the achievements and early DPS content much easier, much more doable. You don't have to have near the stats that you would normally have to have on some of those DPS maps. Now, the assault maps, which we will be doing also, obviously we're going to do 100% achievement, or try to. Those you can't use the harpoon pet on. I'm not sure which pets work on those. I think maybe a propeller cat does, which would be great for us. But I'm planning on using a DPS monk, which the DPS monk, a lot of its damage comes from pets. So I think the assault maps are going to be a little bit harder. I might try out an apprentice, actually an adept, DPS, or a huntress one. I've not done either one of those before. Okay, so here's the wave 24. And then we hit to wave 25 and we get guardians. Great. So those guardians will help us out. So I was just slowing that down to show the guardians. Then we're going to fast forward all the way up through wave 30, I believe. There's not a whole lot to say about this other than right now we're doing this on insane. Whenever we get a little bit better stats. I tried several times to do nightmare without an apprentice and without overly depending on the warden or the hermit. And I just don't have the stats to do it right now. If I think I could do it if it wasn't on hardcore, so there's no time limit, so I could perfect the build. But honestly, for the rewards versus what we're going to be doing in the future, because we're not going to do it on survival. And this would be a decent map for armor farming, but we're not going to be doing this map on Nightmare Hardcore Survival. It would be nice to get a decent campaign build so we can get some of the weapons, potentially at Alt Plus. But we can't even wear those yet. We're not even 100, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll just do it at a later date. So I did try to do the Nightmare Hardcore Survival. I think I can get to the boss and probably even beat the boss if it's not hardcore, but because of our low stats and the inability for me to generate mana because of it, I'm not able to get enough mana to build everything that I would need in the short time frame. This is one of those cases where I think survival, like even the later waves of Nightmare Hardcore, would be easier at our stats than doing the campaign. But that's likely just because, I'm not an expert at this game. I'm still learning it. I came back to it after years and years of being away. So yeah, we're creeping up on wave 30 here. So we're almost there. We're at we're at wave 30. We just got to get through 5900, which that's so many NPCs. I don't know of a map that has more NPCs, mobs, whatever, per wave than this one. I can't think of one off the top of my head, at least not one that I'm familiar with. And here we go, we're back to normal speed for a minute, so we can go and get the pop-up for the harpoon pet. And there it is. So because I had my splits in, we get 4 harpoons. Eventually I go look at them, I assume. I don't know what I'm doing down here. Probably debating on if I should go look at them. I don't remember what I was thinking, actually. Here we go. So, the one thing that I'll say is the ones that you can get from Nightmare Hardcore are much better statted than these ones are. We got a 14,000 base damage one, a 12,000 base, and 11,000 base, and the other one's trash at 5k. Not that these are, amazing or anything, but they'll be good enough. And that one even has tower boost stats, and the other one had health and hero damage and tower boost on it, so they're not terrible. So we can have 3 characters with harpoon pets for various achievements and maps. So here we are going through the rest of the waves on survival, which are, it was surprisingly easy with the build that I have. I think what I would change is I think I would get rid of the 2 shroom pits and put on the bottom crystal where I have a lightning tower or lightning cloud, whatever, facing either direction, east west. I would have 2 facing each direction and 1 facing where the ranged guys are, the flying things spawn. So what is that? I don't remember if that's north or south. It is south, it looks like. So I would have them face south. How fortuitous that the map popped up right then and there for me. But yeah, we're just going through here. This is obviously sped up footage. So wave 33 is also pretty easy. I didn't really have anything damage the crystals that I can remember. Not with this build. There's other builds that I tried in testing this map before I did it on ranked, that the crystals did get damaged. But this one seems pretty okay. Like I said, the only thing that I would change, I think, is maybe put 1 shroom pit at the north side, at the north crystal. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. At the long crystal here. So this is probably, I probably went to go get a drink, so that's why we were sitting there for a long time. And up here, we're at the second to last wave. Again, no real issues. I am tower boosting and kind of bouncing between the towers. Again, not so much for damage, but just to keep them healed. And if it's not clear, if you haven't noticed, we have 8 primary DU to play with and a whole lot of MU. Yeah, it's so you could put more reflect beams to prevent some of the damage that I was taking. Oh, this crystal did take damage, it looks like. I think it took damage on wave 34. Or maybe it took damage right now. I don't remember. It was on one of those 2 waves. I do remember this now. And what it was an ogre was over there swinging at the lightning towers and not the golem for some reason. I thought the golem would take precedence over them. I think it's supposed to by design, but who knows if that actually works or not. So here we go. We finished this on Insane Hardcore. And the final reward that you get is the Steadily Strike Tower, which I'm told is good for leveling. Like, you throw it on a hero that you're leveling, and they get one of the XP bonuses, which is only do hero damage, I think. So, yeah, it's okay. I'll keep it. I'll keep 4 of them around just in case, or maybe just keep 2 of them around. I'm not real sure. But yeah, that's the end of that. We got through everything. Level up all our heroes here. Just going through the spoils. I don't think I'm gonna do another big hey, we got all this gear, let's equip it episode, unless we're doing like a big survival farm, like a multi-day long one, where we're trying to meet a stat threshold for a map. Otherwise, I'll just keep equipping them as I do things. Yeah, like that one's really good. The one that I just equipped, that one had all positive stats. I think maybe 1 negative. It was fairly good. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with the progress of our characters so far. Everything looks good on them. We haven't been playing that long, and we're already around 4K, almost 5K on some heroes for our stats. So that's pretty good. Now we just need a DPS hero, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this map, to be able to gear one of those guys up. Okay, I think that's going to be it from me for this episode. I appreciate you hanging out. Take it easy.